Hello everyone and welcome to Best Side Cycling. I'm in Taipei, Taiwan, and in this video I want to show you how to use the YouBike bike share as well as my experience riding around this city. This is coming from the perspective of someone that's completely new and just been here a few days, but I've definitely noticed the patterns of how the traffic sort of flows and areas to ride. There are different ways to rent out these YouBikes, including convenient ones using a transit card, but those require a Taiwanese number. So what I actually recommend is what I did was basically just grab the app, and they have a single rental option, which basically you put $100 USD authorization on a credit card, then you're able to rent these bikes really hassle-free for 5 days. After you do that, it's pretty simple. You just grab a bike, click on the QR code, scan it with the app, and sort of off you go. And the most unbelievable thing about these bikes is definitely the rate at about 30 cents every half hour for the first 4 hours. This is basically a steal compared to Seattle, where it's 36 cents every minute, so basically 30 times more expensive than here. So we're at a beautiful spot here in Taipei. I just want to do a really quick bike check on this. It's really easy once you rent it and everything. There's a basket in front. They have a Nexus internal hub 3-speed, and then a really fun bell, as well as a super plush saddle with somehow still a saddle cutout. So that's the first time I've seen that, with a super quick release clamp for you to change the saddle height super quickly, and a nice traditional sort of all up kickstand. So pretty simple. Bike rides pretty well. It feels like it's sort of a tiny bit e-assist at times because the quality is a little bit better than I expected, but yeah, definitely will do its job in getting you around this nice city. One thing you need to know about Taipei is that it's definitely a motorbike city. They're often the traffic users that you'll be the closest with and have to interact with, especially for the bigger arterials, but don't fret, there's also other really nice places where you ride without basically any other vehicles at all. And that would mainly be the river trails that I found sort of mainly to the west and north of Taipei. And this one is along the west end. There's a ton of new sort of really well paved trail, super wide, and the fact that my spouse is also joining me here for a ride sort of speaks testament to its safety. And a great spot to start is probably what I found was the Dao Chang Pier Plaza. You won't have a problem finding these docking stations anywhere through the city, but especially near these hotspots, they have really big stations with a ton of bikes. So really a great way for a leisurely ride, so much that they don't have the traditional sort of rental bike companies. But this is probably wouldn't be the way you would sort of get from place to place in the city, so let's go over some of the other type of roads you'll find. So here is probably a typical road that I found in Taiwan that is sort of the main sort of ways to get around in terms of the bigger intersections and things. They typically have 2 to 3 lanes and then this gutter bike and motorbike lane. Some of them are more explicit about having bicycle signage on them and having sort of this, you see this motor and bicycle box. Some that are designed for higher speeds I found only sort of indicate motorbikes, but it's pretty interesting because I did just see people riding YouBikes everywhere, so that gave me a lot more confidence that I was doing all right. But definitely this isn't for everyone, and my best advice really is just to keep your line and stay predictable. Don't swerve to the left and right unless you look and make sure that it's clear. You are able to ride on the sort of sidewalks here, but a lot of times, as mentioned, because of all the motorbikes, a lot of sidewalks might not necessarily have enough room to support bikes as well, and you also have to keep in mind that pedestrians have right of way. So this is definitely the way to get to the general neighborhood or cross sections that you're looking towards, but once you're there, there's definitely a lot more residential streets and more calm traffic wise to just sort of get around. And something I didn't already mention is that Taiwan does sort of drive and ride on the right side of the road, so definitely also familiar coming from North America. And then as we ride into this little alleyway, it's sort of cool because at the end there we see Taipei 101, one of the notable observatories in the area, so it's pretty cool. And then this green paint we see on the right, what we're so used to from what I know is them being sort of like bike lanes. Here they're basically pedestrian areas, so they want to highlight to cars and stuff where sort of people should be instead. But as you can see, all the motorbikes sort of on the left there is really common just in all the spaces that There'll basically be a whole lane of motorbikes, then a sort of thinner lane for sidewalks and stuff. But as you see, I'm sort of using some back lanes here to just sort of roam around. The other cool thing about how traffic works here is that every single traffic light basically is completely timed, and it has the number there on the sign, so you don't have to worry anymore about how long it'll take exactly for the light to change. So this was my first time in Taipei. If I missed anything or you want to add anything else, please let me know in the comments below. And I also rented a road bike and did a giant loop around the city, so I'm gonna definitely have a vlog showing that in the near future. So if you don't want to miss that, please roll the like button and subscribe. I am in East Asia till end of the year, so hopefully get some of those videos out for you to enjoy. And then the last thing I want to talk about was just around ending your trip and docking stations. If you use Google Maps, actually it shows you sort of which station you should pick up a bike and drop off the bike at, but also you can use the YouBike app. But honestly, my experience is that it's like these stations are like everywhere, just every couple blocks, usually in corners when you see green spaces or just near stations and things that you expect. They sort of have them there already ready. So the ending process is really quite simple. All you gotta do is just roll up and then just sort of lock it in with the front piece there, and you're done. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next one.